The snow has finally stopped here from Casper, Wyoming, and it is perfect timing because things are about to heat up inside of Swede Erickson Gymnasium as we prepare to give you Game 1 of the NJCAA 2024 Region 9 Championship between the number 3 seed from the southwestern Nebraska and the number 2 seed from the northwestern Wyoming. We'll start with the visitors from western Nebraska. Head coach Isaac Liu in his first full season as head coach. They come in winning 5 in a row heading into tournament play. And I'm going to introduce my partner, Josh Prop. Coach Prop, give us a key for western Nebraska here in this Game 1 of the region tournament.
Well, thanks, Coach Kohler. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be a really great matchup, I think, today. I'm excited to see, for western Nebraska, their big thing, they tend to get in foul trouble a little bit, but they also like to get after it on the defensive end, trying to get steals. They're third in the country in steals right now, so if they can get touches and get in transition, they're going to be pretty good. Currently, they, rebounding battle, they out-rebound their opponents by over 7 rebounds a game. So if they can get it going on the defensive end, get a touch, get a rebound, and pitch it up in transition, they're going to be looking good. They are 10th in the country in assists, and they just look to get everybody kind of involved. They're rebounding, it's really from a lot of different people. They kind of rebound by committee, and a lot of that is going to come from bench minutes. So that would be one of my keys also, is just looking to see what the players coming off the bench are going to be able to contribute when they come in.
Absolutely. It's going to be a key for Western Wyoming to make sure and keep them off the boards. On the other side, the Mustangs from Western Wyoming come in with a record of 14-16. Coach Wesley Padilla in his second season. A team that has also won a couple of games leading into this tournament. They've won 5 in a row. They come in as the number 2 seed in the north. Coach, give us a key for Western Wyoming here as they take on the number 2 seed Western Nebraska.
Well, one of the strengths for Western Nebraska was rebounding it, and so Western Wyoming really needs to look to make sure that they're limiting the Cougars to just one shot. They're going to really try to slow them down, I think, with a little bit of man-to-man, a little bit of half-court, 1-2-2, different kind of traps. Try to get them into one shot, get a rebound, and get up the floor. On the offensive end, they're either going to try to get an early bucket in transition or look to see, a lot of like dribble drive kind of concepts, getting space from side to side, trying to get to the rim, kicking for threes. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, and so if they can maximize their opportunities with the three or get an offensive rebound, they're going to be sitting good.
This is going to be a fun matchup. Both of these two teams come in playing very great basketball right now. These two teams have seen each other already twice this year. In Game 1, November 10th, Western Wyoming was successful 73-56. That game played in Rock Springs. They met again on January 10th in Scotts Bluff, and Western Wyoming was again successful 75-67. In those two matchups, Western Wyoming shot 27 free throws and 32 free throws respectively. Coach, what does that mean for Western Nebraska in this matchup?
Well, I think for Western Nebraska, they got to really make sure, like I said before, that they're really going to try to get after it defensively, but they just cannot foul. They can't get into foul trouble, get too deep into their bench this time of the year in tournament season. They're probably going to shorten the bench as it is, and so just making sure that they're not getting in foul trouble. Huge key.
We're going to go ahead and introduce starters. We will start with the visitors from Western Nebraska, starting at one guard, number 10, Helena Cook. Cook, the 5'5" freshman from Bolumna, Brazil, comes in averaging 8.3 points per game. At another guard position, number 11, Galifant. Galifant, the 6-foot redshirt freshman from Barcelona, Spain, comes in averaging 7.5 points per game. At the third guard, Iberi Agbarike, my apologies. Number 4 comes in averaging 9.9 points a game, the 5'8" freshman from London, England. At one forward position, number 13, Laura Montiel. She comes in averaging 7.5 points a game, the 5'8" freshman from Granada, Spain. And the starting lineup will be finalized by number 24, Mackenzie Joseph. The forward averages 11.5 points a game, is 5'11", out of Vinton, Louisiana. On the other side, for the home-standing number 2 seed Western Wyoming Mustangs, they will start the way that they have started quite a bit this season with one guard, Katie Strauss. Katie Strauss can really shoot it from 3. She comes in shooting 32.6% from 3. She is a 5'8" sophomore from Green River, Wyoming. Another guard, Anya Ekstrom, comes in averaging 9 points per game. She is a 5'6" freshman from Spania, Sweden. Number 12, Sierra Eddy, is a 5'9" freshman from West Haven, Utah. Number 22, Zapaya Samson, is a forward from Wayne, Idaho, a 5'11". And the final starter for Western Wyoming, number 21, Tamron Bloom, a 5'10" sophomore from right here in Casper, Wyoming. As we will take a quick break here for the singing of our national anthem. Well, fans, as they announce the starting lineups here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium in Casper, Wyoming, we're going to talk about a couple of key players that we expect to have big games here in round one of the Region 9 Women's Tournament. We're going to start with Western Wyoming and coach somebody that you are very familiar with, Tamron Bloom. Bloom comes in averaging 14.4 points a game and 9 rebounds a game. The 5'10" sophomore from Casper, Wyoming. What can we expect to see from her today?
Oh, man, I'm just so excited to see Tam. You know, you watch a kid grow up in a system in a town, and you think that they have a skill set, but for her to be able to find a place in a great college and to thrive has just been a really, really cool thing for her. She currently leads her team in rebounds. She's getting to the rim a bunch. She's just going to do a lot of things for Western Wyoming today, and I'm really excited to see her play.
She's going to be a tough matchup for these two bigs from Western Nebraska, that is for sure. On the other side, we're going to key in on a kid that's coming off the bench, number 21, Faith Walker, a kid that played very well in the start of the season, missed a little bit of time due to a knee injury, and has really found a spot coming off of the bench here for the Cougars.
I tell you, we mentioned it in the keys earlier in the game, just bench minutes and rebounding. Faith Walker for Western Nebraska, she's already had 100 offensive rebounds this season. And so she's going to come in at 6 foot, give some great minutes, and you look to see her getting some offensive rebounds and some putbacks, get them going.
And we would expect to see her pretty early on in this game, especially to come in and maybe match up with Bloom and try to stop her if Bloom gets going early on. Two teams that, again, are very evenly matched. We should see some fireworks here as we are getting ready to start Region 9 tournament play here from Casper College, Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Today's officials, Mr. Bill Lyons, Mr. Taylor Winkler, and Mr. Rory Robinson. Rory is going to be the gentleman that is going to toss it up as we are getting ready for 9 straight hours of basketball here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Coach, I know you're excited. I'm excited too.
Oh, I am so excited. This is awesome. This is like March Madness at its finest. These kids have been dreaming about moments like this since they were little, and just see it, just put it all on the floor today is going to be wonderful.
Absolutely. We got Mackenzie Walker versus Zapaya Sampson in the key, and we are ready to get things going. Rory Robinson flips it up. And we are underway from Casper College, Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Western Nebraska will take the first possession. This is Helena Cook with the ball, and it looks like Western is coming out zone.
Yeah, it looks like Western Wyoming's going to – oh, there's a touch from Bloom.
The ball knocked away and stolen back, this time by Montiel, as Western Nebraska turns it over but then gets it back.
Good job with Tam at the top of that 1-3-1, just trying to get a deflection, put him in a bad situation. That's 2 turnovers now for Western Nebraska, and Western Wyoming's out and running.
0-0 still early on here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium as a 3-ball by Ekstrom is up and it is no good. Rebounded by Sierra Eddy and kicked back around to Strauss as Western Wyoming looks to initiate some offense here as it's been a little sloppy here to start.
Yeah, a little pregame jitters is a little normal, but look to see these guys trying to rip and get to the rim here, maybe try to get fouled or get a quick 3 up.
Ekstrom with the driving kick. Strauss, very capable shooter from the left side, but she drives it right and gets her first basket of the game for Katie Strauss, the 5'8" sophomore from Green River.
Great take by Strauss. Good job for the offense, just moving the ball around, coming against the grain, getting that layup there.
A gal that prefers to go to the left hand as Bloom gets another steal at the top of that zone, and she's going to go coast to coast. And we're going to have our first foul of the game. This foul is going to go on Iberi Egberike. It's going to be her first foul of the game, the team's first foul. And it looks like we're going to have a baseline out of bounds for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and here comes Faith Walker coming in from Western Nebraska. See if they can get things settled down, maybe find her in the middle of that 1-3-1.
Just like we talked about, a quick sub here. Faith Walker, a very, very good basketball player for Western Nebraska. And we expect for her to play some pretty big minutes. You can see the brace on her right knee, but it sounds like she is fully healthy. She's played the last couple of games, and we expect big things from her today. Eddy fires the 3-ball. It's no good, and the defensive rebound comes down and belongs to Cook. Cook and Font on the top there. Font looks to dribble it in, and a 3rd straight turnover for Western Nebraska. This is Bloom going coast to coast with the floater, and it's good. And Tamron Bloom is now on the board, and Western Wyoming takes a 4-point lead.
Great take by Tam, just getting into the paint, looking to draw some contact, doesn't get it, gets the floater, gets back on D. There's another steal.
Another steal by Strauss. Strauss is going to go all the way. She's going to have the right-handed layup. It's good, and just like that, we are out to a 6-0 lead for Western Wyoming. And Coach Lou wants a quick timeout.
Yeah, you got to figure something out against that 1-3-1. The other thing is if you're going to get a live ball turnover, we got to make sure you're getting back on defense.
Well, and Coach, how much of this do you think is actual skill versus just maybe some jitters coming in, first game of the tournament, trying to just kind of get your feet wet?
Oh, man, it's the first game of any tournament or rivalry game is just so hard. Like I said, I mean, you've been dreaming about this thing. You want to play great. You got your family and friends that are here. They're watching online or whatever it might be, and you just want everything to go well, and just it doesn't. For Western Wyoming, I would say this can be a dangerous thing, though, too, because you kind of have a tendency sometimes to let your foot off the gas when you're up a little bit, and it seems like it's going to be easy. So we'll see how both of these teams come out of this timeout.
So if you're coaching in this Western Nebraska huddle here, what's the fix against this 1-2-2? I mean, it seems like they're trying to throw it back and forth on the top, and they're not having much success against the long arms of Bloom.
Well, I think the big thing, Western Wyoming is doing a really good job of extending this thing, and Western Nebraska right now has not done a very good job of finding the middle, coming to the ball, shortening some passes, trying to rip and look opposite. The passes are too long, and they're just getting touched.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Lou, and again, his first full season as the head coach, comes in. He was 21-9 last year as the interim head coach, a shoe-in to get the head job. The guy knows what he's doing. This year so far, they're 25-6. I mean, he's got 46 wins, and he's not even 25 years old yet.
Incredible.
You got to think that he's going to know what he's doing, and he's going to come through and have a good situation here.
Incredible. I can't even imagine trying to do that job when I was 23. I was playing 2K or something.
Now, we've got a little bit of a situation here. With this Region 9 tournament, this is the first time that coaches are able to use the review. It looks like they went over and were talking about something. They were looking at the review. So they did just go back. We just got word on the PA system that they are going to take 2 points off of the board from Katie Strauss because there was a shot clock violation.
Yeah, it looked like it was close anyway. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, and with this being a Region 9 tournament, they have, for the first time this season, they will institute the video replay. Officials can go to that if they need to, and it looks like they have taken full advantage of that as we have another Western Nebraska turnover. This time it was by Amaya Donaldson, who had just checked into the game.
Yeah, Coach Padilla did a good job there in that timeout. It's changing out of that 1-3-1 and give him a different look in the 1-2-2. And, just slipped and fell and turned the ball over there.
Well, Western Nebraska now has an opportunity to set up some press, something that they have not been able to do yet, as they haven't been able to put the ball inside the basket yet. Anya Ekstrom with it at the top of the key here. She swings it over to Bloom. Bloom has it on the wing. She's looking to get down to the left hand. She's going to float one up. It's no good, and Faith Walker there on the defensive rebound. And now Western Nebraska looks to push tempo.
Yeah, you can really tell. You can really tell when Faith's in the game, getting rebounds and letting them push a little bit.
Western Nebraska now, or Western Wyoming, my apologies, back into that 1-3-1 as now Western Nebraska's gotten it to the middle. Donaldson gets into the lane, and this is a 3-ball by Galafont, which is good. And just like that, the lead cut down to 1. You take a basket away on one side, you get a 3 on the other side, and just like that, 4-3.
Yeah, and she's not putting up a ton of threes per game, but she's shooting a 35% clip. She's doing a pretty good job. You give her a wide open look, it's going in.
On the other side, Anya Ekstrom with the 3-ball. And now we have a 7-3 lead for Western Wyoming, and Western drops back into that kind of a 1-3-1, 1-2-2 kind of mixed look with Tamron Bloom causing some problems up at the top.
Yeah, Ekstrom and Bloom, just their energy already off the get-go here has been really good. They're trying to get it in right now to Walker, inside and back out. Get to the rim here by 11.
Great take by Font there that goes just off to the left, and we've got a defensive rebound there by Sampson. Sampson comes in. She was a volleyball player this fall for the Mustangs as Strauss fires a deep 3 that just misses off the back iron. Fight for the rebound, and we're going to have a foul on Sierra Eddy. It's going to be Eddy's first team foul and the team's first team foul. But Sampson, a gal that came in from the volleyball team, she didn't start playing with this team until December 18th. But she has started all 5 of the previous games so far this season and has really found a spot for herself here on this Western Nebraska team.
Yeah, what a busy couple months for her. What a busy couple months for her. Incredible deal.
Yeah, it's really made a difference for this team. Added another big as Walker looks to drive here. And Eddy gets a piece of it, knocks it away, and the steal by Sampson. And we are heading the other way. I've got 5 turnovers for Western Nebraska so far in the first just over 4 minutes of play. Yeah. Probably not what Coach Lou was looking for to start this game. Bloom looks to drive it to her left. She kicks it out. Strauss with an 18-footer is good. Katie Strauss now with 4 points for the Mustangs, and man, she's got a great looking stroke, and I know that lefties just in general, it looks like shoot it a little bit more cleanly, but she does a great job of shooting it.
Well, and again, you know, when you're attacking with that dribble drive just over and over again, it opens some things up on the outside for a good mid-range or outside jumper.
Shot is no good. Sierra Eddy with the defensive rebound for the Mustangs, and again, they look to push.
You know, for the Cougars, one of our keys was rebounding and just how well they've been rebounding through the year. And so far, they have not gotten a single offensive rebound, I don't believe.
And it was a key that we talked about. We knew that Western Wyoming coming into Sierra Eddy pulls up for a jumper, and it's good.
Great shot, great shot.
It was a key we talked about, and Western Wyoming has done a good job so far, but also Western Nebraska has not taken a ton of shots because they continue to turn the basketball over.
That's true, yep.
11-3 Western Wyoming here early on, as Western Nebraska finally starting to do a better job of throwing the ball into the middle to Galifant, and this time we've got a tie-up. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to belong to the Lady Mustangs. As we get a couple of subs for Western Wyoming, number 25, Karina Bjornstedt, the 6'1" freshman from Stockholm, Sweden, checks in. And then a couple more for Western Nebraska check in.
Looks like we got a little man press here. Western Wyoming obviously looking to maybe slow this thing down a little bit, try to get a touch, get a little bit of pressure here. They're going to limit Western Wyoming to a single shot here.
This is Sierra Eddy on the wing. She looks to reject the ball screen from Bjornstedt and ends up turning it over. Faith Walker with the steal. And now the Cougars are looking to get out and go. Donaldson with it on the wing. She finds Walker at the top. Walker swings it around. This is Montiel who looks to drive it. Montiel flips up a little floater, is no good. And a defensive rebound belongs to Ekstrom. Just under 4 minutes left to go here in the first quarter from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Anya Ekstrom looks to initiate offense for the Western Wyoming Mustangs. She comes off of the double screen. It gets swung around to Bjornstedt. Bjornstedt looks to drive it right and back to Eddy.
Ertain off the bench. She's guarding Bloom. Bloom shoots the three, misses. I really like the way 34 Ertain really just runs the floor here. Great rim run, good energy.
Which is something I feel like that we've seen lacking from Western Nebraska so far early in the game. And granted, there's been some turnovers and been tough to get into, but also the energy has just lacked a little bit from Western Nebraska so far.
Absolutely, and I think now with the two bigs and the ability to run the floor and look for a rim runner, look to see that option, I think, a lot more. Don't let Western Wyoming get set up in that 1-2-2.
Anya Ekstrom gets called for this foul. It's going to be her first and the team's second of the quarter. Looks like Western's going to come out in a little 2-3 zone here against the underneath out of bounds. Backside three ball for Cook is no good. There's a scramble for the rebound, and again, Montiel there with a scrappy play, grabs an offensive rebound and gets a bucket for her team to cut the lead down to 6.
Yeah, great touch by Montiel, just staying aware and getting a little touch there. Western Wyoming back in a little dribble drive, little ball screen up top.
Strauss with it now, swings it back over to Bloom. You got to think that Coach Padilla likes this lineup on the floor right now with Strauss and Bloom, both very capable handlers, both very capable scorers, and even with Sierra Eddy on the bench as Ekstrom floats it up and misses short. But a battle for the offensive rebound is going to Nair Vermeulen from Western Wyoming was tied up, and it looks like they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, again, I'm really interested to see how this rebounding thing plays out. I mean, we thought that it was just going to be such a strength for Western Nebraska and such a deficit maybe for Western Wyoming, and it has been the opposite. Western Wyoming has done a really good job getting to the glass.
Ball's going to be on Amaya Donaldson. It's going to be her first and the team's second of the quarter. Strauss used to look to use the ball screen there and ends up throwing the ball out of bounds, and it's going to belong back to Western Nebraska. Western Wyoming just with 2 turnovers so far compared to Western Nebraska's 5 unofficially on my count.
Yeah, it looks like Mustangs are back in a 1-3-1. Just give them another little different look.
Three ball by Donaldson looks short, might have gotten tipped, and it's rebounded by Katie Strauss. You got to wonder, though, is Bloom going to get a blow here? She's playing real hard at the top of that zone defense and also looking to attack offensively. You got to think that Coach Padilla is going to look to try to get her a quick breath before the end of the quarter.
She's got a good motor, though. Big, strong kid. Bad matchup problem for Western Nebraska. You know, Bloom's kind of a post player, but she runs the floor really well.
Yeah, that shot by Vermeulen is blocked out of bounds by Font, and it'll belong to Western Wyoming as Sierra Eddy checks it back in for the Lady Mustangs.
We'll see what the Mustangs have drawn up here. It looks like Cougars is playing man.
Sierra Eddy with a great handle. Sierra Eddy today named North All-Conference player as Strauss fires a deep three. This one hits off the back of the rim and bounces out, and Faith Walker, who just checked back in for Western Nebraska, with the defensive rebound. Font fires the three ball, and it is good with an assist from Donaldson, and just like that, the Western Wyoming lead is cut down to 3.
That is the same shot from the same spot for Font. They're going to need to make sure they get a hand in that kid's face.
Well, it seems like Western Nebraska finally starting to settle in a little bit offensively. You kind of wonder how long Coach Badil will stick with this 1-3-1. It was so effective earlier, but now it's kind of starting to wear its course, and you got to wonder if Coach Badil is going to switch things up here soon.
Shot from Ekstrom in the corner. Bucket.
3 from Anya Ekstrom with the assist from Sierra Eddy. And again, this team bases everything that they do off of kids getting into the paint and looking to kick to shooters. And Ekstrom, a very capable three-point shooter.
Little 5-out set, it looks like, here for the Cougars. Oh, did not get called for the travel there.
Just about a turnover there as Faith Walker misses the jump shot long, and Ekstrom with the defensive rebound. And again, Western Wyoming looking to push tempo here. These 3 guards, and you can even include Bloom in as the 4th guard between Strauss and Eddy and Ekstrom. I tell you what, they're all capable shooters. They're all capable drivers. They all play well together and have really led this offense, as this is Gala Font who drives it all the way. She now has 8 points on the game for the Cougars, and it is 14-10, Western Wyoming with the lead, as we are just about to 30 seconds left to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, she is really the energy. She's leading the way here for the Cougars right now. Knocked down a couple big threes. She's working hard in transition, getting it done on the defensive end.
Strauss with the ball at the top finds Vermeulen. Vermeulen looks into the post. This is going to be Bloom. Bloom with a move to her left
shoulder.
Great
sit by Tam. Good finish.
Tamron Bloom with her 4th point of the game and opens the lead back up to 6 as Western Nebraska looks like they're going to get the final shot here of the first quarter. Donaldson's going to fire a quick 3, and it is an air ball out of bounds. And now Western Wyoming with a chance with 3 seconds left here. Kylie Smith checks in for the first time for the Cougars, as well as Faith Walker returning. And just like that, 3 seconds left. Western Wyoming got to go the length of the court. Inbounds goes to Eddy. Eddy can really handle it as she fires a 45-footer.
Oh, and it goes.
Just like that, you know, and you talk about a bad shot on one end with some time left on the clock, and then Sierra Eddy comes down and makes them pay, as she now has 5 points on the game, and it opens the Western Wyoming lead to 19-10. We will take a quick break here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium on the Casper College Network.
So one of the main reasons I chose Casper College is I'm from Casper, born and raised, and it's great that we have this community college here that it's ranked pretty high among community colleges. So I'm a non-traditional student, and I was a little bit nervous to come back to college, I guess. My major while I was a CC student was psychology, and I also got to be the president of the psychology club. I just had so many opportunities for leadership and personal growth. And I've just been so thankful. I really never imagined all of the opportunities that I would have had here. Just go for it. Like, there is so much to do and so many things to be involved in. And challenge yourself, push beyond your own limitations that you had in your mind.
Welcome back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium on the beautiful home of Casper College as we head into quarter number 2 of this Region 9 tournament game 1 between Western Nebraska and Western Wyoming. Western Wyoming out to a 19-10 lead over the Cougars from Western Nebraska. Looks like Western Nebraska will start the same way that they started the game, except they have Faith Walker now on the floor. She's looking to post up on the inside. Montiel Font. "15-foot jumper there by Montiel is good. Montiel now has 4 points on the game for the Cougars, and they cut the lead down to 7.
Yeah, Western Nebraska did a really good job there. They got it down to 1 possession there with a minute and a half left in the first quarter, and then And then the Mustangs just kind of went on a scoring frenzy. Got it by 9. Leads back to 7.
Turnover there by Sierra Eddy on the bad pass is stolen by Montiel, and Montiel gets the layup on the other end. She now has 6 points, and Coach, you continue to talk about the energy and effort that she has given to her team, and she's kind of single-handedly kept them alive in this.
She is. She's always up the line. You can just tell how much energy she gives when she is on the floor. And then just having just a great rim protector and Faith Walker in the middle of that thing just
certainly makes things a little bit easier as Yurtain picks up her first foul, the team's first foul of the second quarter. Just under a minute into quarter number 2 here. Western Wyoming currently on the floor with Strauss, Ekstrom, Eddy, Bloom, and Vermeulen. Pretty much the starting lineup, except for Vermeulen has checked in and has played more of a post. It's allowed Bloom an opportunity to play more on the wing and allows them to play this 4 out and just use Vermeulen as a screener in the middle.
And again, Bloom's a tough matchup because she's got the size of a big, but she can get to the rim, she can get downhill, she can shoot the 3 a little bit. And so having Yurtain on her, it's a good matchup for Western Wyoming, I think.
Great rebound there by Faith Walker on a great block out. She's going to fire the 3 ball here that misses short, and Tamron Bloom with a defensive rebound for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and 5 Mustangs in the paint looking to get that rebound and push up the floor.
Again, we talked in the pregame about how important it was going to be for the Cougars to rebound the basketball, how they're +8 on the season in the rebounding margin, but really it's been Western Wyoming that has controlled the rebounds.
Absolutely.
Eddy fires the 3 ball. It's no good, rebounded by Font, and Western Nebraska now looks to cut into this 5-point lead here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looks like we're back in the 1-3-1 here for the Mustangs.
Font with the drive, the lefty flow. Oh, it's up and good, but Bill Lyons is going to take that one off the court. He said that the foul was on the floor. That foul is going to belong to number 12, Sierra Eddy. It's going to be her second foul. The team's first of the second quarter as we get a couple of subs on both sides. Eddy is going to check out with that second foul. Bjornstead checks back in for Western Wyoming.
Nice little set, little misdirection there to just get the easy direct to Faith Walker down on the block and draw the foul.
Foul's going to be on number 25. That's Bjornstead. It's going to be her first, the team's second in the quarter. As this jump shot is up and no good. And Faith Walker, look at that hustle.
Great hustle by Faith Walker.
Great job saving a possession for her team. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. 3 ball here by Cook is no good. A battle for the rebound. And this is Montiel that comes away with an offensive rebound. She saves it. Egbarike gets the layup at the shot clock buzzer, but it looks like they're going to go to review. I didn't really get a great look if that first shot had hit the rim and should have been reset anyways as Strauss drives it, and she is denied. Montiel now doing it on the defensive end, and we are going to take, I believe, a quick timeout here to look to see if that shot got off before the shot clock violation went off. Mackenzie Joseph checks back in for Western Nebraska. I don't know. They must be waiting for the next timeout maybe as Bloom looks to make her move. But she gets to that left shoulder. It's no good. And Faith Walker grabs the rebound.
Good up and under by Tam there. Just wasn't able to finish there.
And Western Nebraska now down by as many as 9 in this first half has an opportunity to tie the game here with a 3 ball. Faith Walker, that's Mackenzie Joseph's going to fire it, and it's good. And just like that, Western Nebraska has clawed their way back into it and tied things up. A couple of big offensive rebounds that last possession have really turned things around, and you can see the energy change in that Western Nebraska team. It looks like the effort on defensive is a little bit better, and it looks like Western Wyoming starting to tire a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not the rebounding from the bigs necessarily. They're doing a great job on the defensive glass, but it's really been the guards and forwards that have done a great job of crashing offensively, working, giving some energy. Yeah,
Montiel and Font certainly played a big piece of that.
Little horns look, it looks like, here on this end of the floor. Try to get an open shot here.
Bjornstead fires the 3 ball. It's no good, and a defensive rebound by Faith Walker. And just like that, for the first time today, Western Nebraska with the opportunity to take the lead.
Font does such a good job of finding space. Oh, ooh.
That was Joseph with the 3 ball. It's no good. Rebound by Walker. Putback is no good. And we've got a scrum for the rebound here, and it's going to be a foul. Anya Ekstrom grabbed the rebound there and was just in a group of trees there. She pulled it away. The foul is going to go on Faith Walker. It's going to be her first, the team's second of the second quarter.
I really like the savviness of Galifant. She does a really good job of getting it into somebody else's hands and then relocating and finding space. You can tell she just played a ton of basketball. Good basketball IQ.
Yep. And a kid that doesn't come off is this Sierra Eddy for the 3 ball, and it is good. Sierra Eddy with her second 3 of the game. She's up to 8 points and opens that Western Wyoming lead back up to 3. But Font, the type of gal that doesn't look terribly over-the-top athletic or anything like that, but she comes in and just makes great basketball plays. As this 3 ball by Cook is good, and we are back to even here with our second tie of the game.
Yeah, that was not necessarily what I thought we were going to be seeing today. It was a 3-point contest back and forth between these two teams.
Well, you knew Western Wyoming certainly capable of it, but Western Nebraska doesn't shoot it a ton, but they have hit a couple. It's a great up and under move by Tam Bloom. Bloom now with 6 points on the game, and that seems to be her go-to move when she gets it into the post.
Yeah, she likes that. She likes that little spin back inside or that up and under. Again, just a tough matchup because she can play outside or inside.
Well, just so athletic and just so in charge of her body. She just moves well. She gives great fakes as this 3 ball by Joseph is up and no good. And a battle for the rebound.
Yeah, great crash.
Egberike bashes in there and grabs an offensive rebound, but we're going to go to a jump ball here that's going to belong to the Mustangs. Laura Montiel checking back in for the Cougars, the 5'8" freshman from Granada, Spain. Third in the country in steals. She's got 100 steals, and you can see just by her effort that she is somebody that's around the ball defensively quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. She just always in the right position, it looks like, to just kind of bait somebody into making that little sloppy pass. Good job inside.
Comes back out to Ekstrom. Ekstrom looks to drive it to the left. The drive by Bloom is up and just rolls out, and now a rebound is going to go to Font, and it's going to head the other way.
That was a great take. I thought it was going to go. Got a little 2-3 look here, Coach.
Yep, and just like we talked about, you figured that Coach Padilla would mix it up here, as this is Egberike, who misses, gets her own offensive rebound and pulls it away and then gets a basket to tie it back up. It's her first basket of the game, and we are all knotted at 24.
And look at Montiel getting after it again defensively. You can just tell, just when they get a bucket, their energy just skyrockets.
3 ball by Eddy is no good, rebounded by Mackenzie Joseph. And again, for the third time, Western Nebraska with an opportunity to take the lead that they have not had so far this game.
You know, I think when Faith Walker got hurt there for a while, I think Joseph really kind of took over that rebounding role. And you can tell she does a good job with that, just getting those defensive rebounds and getting them out in transition.
Egberike tried to get into the lane there. Looked like she tripped up a little bit. And Roy Robinson's going to call her for a double dribble. And we are going to head to a media timeout in the second quarter with 4 minutes and 1 second left here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. We have a tie game in Game 1 of the Region 9 tournament from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. And we'll be back after this.
Hey, Coach. So I've been with you for a couple weeks. What's your philosophy on player development?
Yeah, great question. I mean, it really boils down to 2 things: imagination and creativity.
Good, good, yes, go. Quick, one more time. Give me another Georgie. Oh, another Georgie. Give me that. Don't step on my 2. Don't step on my 2. Quick, finish, let's go. Come on, Trey. Let's go. Jump on your shot. Get your shot up. Go. One more. Let's go. Get it up. Go. Finish it. Nice job.
Welcome back, fans, to the beautiful campus of Casper College as we are in the second quarter of game number 1 of the Region 9 National Tournament. The winner of this tournament will go on and get an automatic bid to the national tournament played here in Casper, Wyoming this year for the first time. Just to give you a rundown of today's games, this game right now, Western Nebraska and Western Wyoming started at 12:30. The next game will be at 2:30 between the 4 seed from the North Gillette and the 1 seed from the South Northeastern. At 5 o'clock, we will have a tip-off between the 3 seed from the Northeastern Wyoming and the 2 seed from the South Otero. And in the final game of the night will be the 7 o'clock tip between McCook and the number 1 from the North, Casper. Sounds like they decided to take that basket away from Ebery, who scored just before the shot clock went off. They decided to take that off as a shot clock violation, and now Western Wyoming back to a 24-22 lead, as Western Wyoming will have the ball with just under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Katie Strauss with it at the top. She goes handoff with Ekstrom. Ekstrom back to Bloom at the top. They love to run that backdoor cut for Eddie there, and it looked like Western Nebraska had it scouted real well as Abrike was right there with it, and Western Wyoming ends up throwing the ball out of bounds, and Western Nebraska with a chance to again tie or take their first lead of the game.
Yeah, that's the second time the Mustangs have tried to get that lift and that dribble drive and throw that back door, and it's been scouted and picked.
Faith Walker not happy with that pass there, as she felt like Montiel could have made a pass to the wing and gotten a better angle to throw the ball into her in the post. As again, Western Wyoming now, it looks like coming out and showing a little man-to-man. First time that we've seen that today, as this is Walker as she drives it to her left shoulder. She's bumped on the way up, and we're going to have a basket and the foul. Faith Walker, just her first basket of the game, but she has done a lot of things to help this team. The foul is going to be on number 22.
Yeah, you can definitely tell when Faith is in the game. She just has such a presence down inside and on the glass. Great finish for her.
Sampson picks up her first foul of the game. It's going to be the team's third foul as Amaya Donaldson checks back in.
You know, I'm one of the things I'm really I like the coaching aspect of, I like watching the coaches and see that part too. Coach Padilla has done a really good job of being able to get in and out of different defensive looks without having to call a timeout, without making it look clunky. And I think it's played a little bit of havoc with Western Nebraska here.
Well, Western Nebraska with that free throw by Faith Walker takes their first lead of the game after 3 ties. Sierra Eddy fires this 3 ball, and it misses just short, and Galifant with the defensive rebound for Western Nebraska, and they look to open up this 1-point lead. Font looks to drive it left. She spins back, kicks it back out to Cook, and Cook will look to reset with 18 on the shot clock. They continue to look to throw it into Walker here, especially against this man-to-man. You got to think that the zone a little bit was taking Faith Walker out of the game. As Donaldson looks to drive, she spins back. The little floater is up and good. And Amaya Donaldson gets her first basket of the game and opens the lead up to 3.
Yeah, great finish there at the end. It was fun watching Faith Walker there. She's trying to do a little traffic control and get the ball where she needs it to try to get it inside. I'll be looking for that here this next trip down.
Sierra Eddy with a big basket there on a great take.
Yeah, great finish by Sierra Eddy there.
Basket counts. Foul is going to go on Donaldson. It's going to be her second, the team's third. And Sierra Eddy is our first player of the game into double figures, as now she has 10 and looks to make it 11 and also tie this basketball game back up.
Has Tamara Bloom played every minute of this game right now?
I don't think she's been out yet, yeah. I don't think she has been out, but you can just see the guards from Western Wyoming are tough. I mean, Sierra Eddy, very, very capable three-point shooter, but, man, she can blow by you as well, and it's very easy to see why she was a Region 9 North selection for all conference as she makes that free throw. She's up to 11 points on the game, and we are back to square one with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here from Game 1 of the Region 9 tournament in Casper, Wyoming. 3 ball by Cook is up, and it's long. Katie Strauss with the defensive
board.
rebound.
Yep, they're out running now. Exum pulling it out, seeing if they can set something up here. Little weave, maybe little ball screen action maybe.
Looking to throw it to Bloom in the post, but she's got 2 defenders on her as Western Nebraska doing a nice job. Bloom with the drive. She floats it up. Faith Walker looked like got a piece of it. Strauss is going to battle for it. And the rebound is going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Western Nebraska's ball again in a tie basketball game.
Yeah, good hard drive from Bloom, but Faith Walker just coming over and getting the block. Probably had an opportunity for a little inside hand bounce pass there. Look for that next time.
Well, you can tell the scout by Coach Lou here does a great job. Faith Walker not really guarding Sampson on the defensive end. It looks like they're really doubling on Bloom on the inside as Walker misses that shot, and Bloom with the defensive rebound, and she's going to run. But if you watch, they're not really giving a whole lot of respect to Sampson on the outside, as she is not much of a shooter. But they will put her in a screen and roll there, and they're going to get a hold. And it looks like it's going to be on Walker. We'll wait and see. It is going to be on Faith Walker. It's going to be her second.
Yeah, it was a nice little slip there. I think she just got hung up going to the rim. Good call and foul there.
It's going to be the 4th team foul, and we're going to have Mackenzie Joseph check back in for the Cougars and replace Walker. We are also going to have another sub, Urtane, checking back in. She's going to replace Font in this tie ball game with 1:25 left in the second quarter. We've got a couple players right now, Coach, with 2 fouls. How much of that goes into play when these coaches are coaching this last minute and a half?
Well, I guess one of the things you got to think about is just the basketball IQ of the player. Is the kid going to be able to stay on the floor when they're winded? Do they have enough knowledge to play hard and not pick up that third foul? And sometimes it's better just to sit them down for a minute, let them have a break, and then bring them back.
Egbarika picks up her second foul, and it's going to be the 5th on the team. And again, you can see Coach Lou now making some subs as he gets Egbarika out and also replaces Cook as well for the for the offensive end of the floor. Sierra Eddy back to the free throw line. First one is up and no good for Eddy, as we will stay here in the tie basketball game.
I like the speed with the bigs here with Joseph and Urtane on the floor together. I know Faith's been doing a really good job. We'll see how these two do getting up the floor here.
Second free throw by Eddy is good. Eddy comes in having averaged 20 points per game over the last 7 games. A very, very capable scorer, and is looking to prove that again today. As we got a 3 ball here by Donaldson is long. Tam Bloom with a defensive rebound, and with just over a minute left to play here, Western Wyoming with a chance to open up this 1-point lead. Bloom goes dribble handoff with Eddy. Eddy uses the ball screen. She's going to step back and fire the 3 ball, which misses long. Defensive rebound is battled for between Donaldson and Joseph, and Donaldson ends up grabbing it for the Cougars. Western Wyoming a little quick with that shot, but you kind of wonder if they were maybe going 2 for 1, as it looks like they're now going to get the last shot.
Oh, great take there.
The sea kind of parted there for Montiel, who now has 8 points, and just like that, Western Nebraska back on top.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping track of the lead changes, but that's been several here down the stretch here the last few minutes.
I've got unofficially 5 lead changes as well as 4 ties. And Sierra Eddy's going to hold it here for the last shot.
Sampson looks like coming up for the screen roll here.
Yep.
Horns look.
Eddy with a great crossover. She floats up the layup. It's no good. Rebounded by
5
Joseph.
seconds.
We've got a chance to see the other end here as Joseph fires the 3/4 court shot, and it misses short, and we are going to head to the half. 29-28, Western Nebraska comes back from an early 6-0 deficit and a quick timeout to take the lead here going into the break. We're going to take about a 10-minute break. We're going to come back. We're going to break down some stats. We're going to look ahead to the second half of basketball here as we are at Region 9 tournament here from Casper, Wyoming, Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Make sure you take a quick break and tune back in here in about 10 minutes. back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium on the beautiful campus of Casper College as we get ready for period number 2 of Game 1 of the Region 9 tournament between the Western Wyoming Mustangs and the Western Nebraska Cougars. Just to give you an idea of what is still yet to come today, game number 2 scheduled to tip around 2:30 Mountain Time between the north-seeded number 4 Gillette Pronghorns and the number 1 seed out of the south of the Northeastern Plainsmen. Also at 5 o'clock today, the number 3 seed out of the Northeastern Wyoming team will take on the 2 seed from the South Otero. And in the last game of the night, scheduled to tip at 7 o'clock, the homestanding Casper College Lady Thunderbirds will take on the number 4 seed McCook. Before we get that far, let's break down the stats from the first half. Coach Prop, I know that you talked about early on that rebounding was going to be a key, especially for Western Nebraska. What have you seen from them so far?
Yeah, I mean, what a fun game to watch and call right now. You can just tell that both teams are well coached. You can tell that there's a lot of passion. Man, you know, when we sat down today and kind of looked at what this game was going to be about, we kind of thought it was going to be, you know, steals maybe from Western Nebraska, and that really kind of started with Western Wyoming was really getting the touches and getting it going on the defensive end. And we kind of thought, you know, on the Cougar side, the Cougars were really going to dominate on the glass early on, and it was Western Wyoming all the way. As the game went on, you could tell just some adjustments made by Coach Lou. And really got Western Nebraska trying to crash the boards a lot more. You know, they finished. We looked at the stats at half, and we looked, and they're almost identical. Coach, it makes sense that it's a 1-point game.
Absolutely, and it's been, you know, both ways. Western Wyoming came up, was up 9 at the end of 1. Western Nebraska claws their way back to take a 1-point lead at the half. And we talked about the first 2 times that these guys played. Western Wyoming went to the free throw line 27 and 32 times respectively in those 2 games. So far in this game, just 2 of 3 from the stripe, all on shots that were made baskets that were going for and ones. So Western Nebraska's done a really nice job of keeping Western Wyoming off of the free throw line. Yeah,
I think if I'm Western Wyoming, I mean, one of the keys has to be we got to continue to fight defensively. We can't give up offensive rebounds. On the other end, the same is true. We got to get a couple more kids crashing, and then really look for opportunities to get to the stripe. I think the refs are doing a pretty good job of letting the kids play. You know, it hasn't been, you know, weird from an officiating standpoint. But man, just trying to get downhill a little bit more, try to get some contact from them. For Western Nebraska, you know, I think the key is when they've got their bigs inside, they can really kind of dominate there. They can get a little inside-out game, and that seems to be a real good look for them.
Well, and especially after Western Wyoming made the switch eventually in the second half to go man-to-man. That was when you kind of thought Walker and Joseph were going to kind of take over in the post.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you can tell, I think I mentioned it in the first half, but, you know, it really is rebounding by committee by Western Nebraska. And when they got their guards involved in crashing the boards, you know, getting touches, and it just brought the energy up from everybody and kind of brought them back in that thing.
Absolutely. Well, let's run through the scoring real quick here, starting with the visitors from the Western Nebraska Cougars. Number 4, Iberi Agbrique with 2 points. Helena Kook with 3 points. 8 points from Galifant. 8 points from Laura Montiel. 3 points from Mackenzie Joseph. 2 points from Amaya Donaldson. And just 3 points from Faith Walker so far. You got to think that Coach Lou is going to be designing stuff to get Faith Walker back into the game here.
Yeah, it's really cool kind of to see how the different combinations of kids really allow Western Nebraska to play kind of different styles of basketball a little bit. Depending on who they have in, they can kind of pound it a little bit, or they can just run the floor on you and try to drive and kick.
You got to think, too, Western Nebraska, at least in the back of their head, 2 fouls for Agbrique, 2 fouls for Donaldson, 2 fouls for Walker, something that Coach Lou's going to have to keep an eye on in the second half.
Yeah, you know, for Western Wyoming, I think, you know, everybody's been given real good minutes. The big 3 there, though, you know, Strauss, Ekstrom, and Bloom, they're really going to have to continue to put in the minutes, try to work that. They're trying to get that little high on ball screen and then get downhill on the dribble drive. We'll see if they can get to the rim a little bit.
On the offensive side for Western Wyoming, just like we talked about, I mean, a lot from their starters, not much from their bench. Strauss kicks in 4 points. Anya Ekstrom with 6 points. Sierra Eddy leads all scorers with 12 points. Tam Bloom with 6 points, and just those 4 players scored points for them in the first half.
You know, the thing defensively I was going to bring up was they played a lot of man-to-man, I think, through most of the year, and it seems like they've had a lot better look today, switching between their 1-3-1, their 1-2-2, trying to switch that up a little bit. But if Western Nebraska can find the middle of that thing and kick opposite, I think that's going to be a good look for them.
Not much foul trouble for the Mustangs from Western Wyoming. Sierra Eddy, the only player with 2 fouls as we get ready to start the second half here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Again, game 1 of the Region 9 tournament between the Mustangs of Western Wyoming and the Cougars from Western Nebraska. Both teams going the same way that they started. It's going to be Western Nebraska ball in a 1-point game as we get ready to start half number 2.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one, Coach. We'll see how many lead changes we get in this half.
Cook to initiate offense. Looks like Western Wyoming coming back out in that 1-3-1 that kind of morphs into a little bit of a 1-2-2 with Bloom at the top. She had a lot of success getting some tips and touches early on in that game that caused Western Nebraska to have a slow start. Cook's going to fire a 3 ball. It's long. Katie Strauss on the backside with a defensive rebound, and Western Wyoming's going to have their first possession of the second half. 29-28 here early on in the third quarter. We're going to get a Western Nebraska foul.
And we've seen that kind of from Western Nebraska this year, like we talked about. I mean, they try to get up the line, they try to get touches, but they're also prone to getting some fouls here.
And we're going to have the offensive foul against Strauss, number 0. It's going to be her first, the team's first of the second half. As we were a little bit confused there on the call. Bill Lyons gets us straightened out here, and it'll be Western Nebraska's second possession in the second half. Agbrique and Font go back and forth on the side, and it gets skipped over the top to Cook. Cook back up to the top for Montiel. Montiel looks to drive, brings it back to Font. Font kind of thought about it, looked to pull up for an elbow jumper, and now it's Agbrique. Agbrique drives it. She gets it deflected away by
good touch by
Ekstrom.
Ekstrom. Great touch by Ekstrom down on the baseline.
And Western Nebraska will have the ball with 6 left on the shot clock.
She is definitely undersized playing down there in that 1-2-2. But she does a really good job of just trying to front down there, and great hands.
Western Wyoming coming 2-3 zone, and Agbrique goes up, and she's going to be fouled as the defense kind of fell apart there. Sampson on the defensive end, just on the backside. Looked like Western Nebraska just kind of ran a little cross there.
Yeah, pretty simple little thing. I think just miscommunication from Western Wyoming.
Sure. Sampson picks up her second foul, and she's going to check out as Bjornstead is going to replace her. Bjornstead, the 6'1" freshman from Stockholm, Sweden, comes in averaging 4.2 points a game. She did start 12 games in the middle of the year, but has kind of been replaced recently by Sampson, the volleyball player, as the first free throw from Agbrique is good, and she now has 3 points. Second free throw is up, and it is good. And Western Nebraska has opened their lead up to 3. Entry pass into Bloom. She's looking for that up and under. She goes straight into the chest of Font. Misses the layup. Tip goes out of bounds off of Joseph, and it's going to stay with Western Wyoming.
Yeah, it seems like Western Wyoming's putting a premium on getting back on defense instead of crashing the offensive boards. It's pretty much just Tam down there on a shot.
Entry pass goes immediately into Bloom. Bloom to Ekstrom at the top. Ekstrom looks like she's going to use the ball screen from Bjornstead, and now they're into their dribble drive as Sierra Eddy looks to attack.
So dangerous off the dribble there, especially if they're going to switch on that outside.
Strauss with the great behind the back move, and she's fouled on the way up. And Strauss has earned herself 2 free throws. Foul's going to be on 13, which is Laura Montiel. It's going to be her first, the team's first of the second half. And Katie Strauss is heading to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Again, just 3 free throw attempts from the Mustangs so far in the first half, after shooting 27 and 32 in the first 2 matchups respectively, as Strauss makes her free throw, and she now has 5 on the game. Strauss with an opportunity here to cut the lead down to 1, and she does so as she adds her 6th point, and we are back to a 1-point Western Nebraska lead.
Looks like we're back to a 1-3-1 for Western Wyoming.
Agbrique finds Font in the corner. Font looks to drive it. She almost
great
traveled,
touch.
but it's turned over. Katie Strauss with the steal, and she kind of has a tough time picking it up. Eddy now grabs it, and she walks uncontested into the layup And we have turned this game back over as Western Wyoming takes now a 1-point lead.
Man, she really looked like she wanted to pull the trigger on that three there. Decided to go in and get the layup. That was a good play.
A very capable three-point shooter. And Agrike is called for a travel, and just like that, it'll be Western Wyoming basketball.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions now by Western Nebraska coming up empty on the offensive end. And we're back to a one-point game the other way now again, Coach.
Western Wyoming will have Western Nebraska has Faith Walker check back in for Mackenzie Joseph. I've got us unofficially for 6 lead changes so far as Sierra Eddy drives it, and she's bumped on the way up, and she is heading to the free throw line. And
that was one of the keys we talked about at half is, not just getting kind of to the rim, but making sure you're getting to the rim, getting contact, trying to get to the line. They've done a much better job the start of this second half already, Coach.
Foul is on Cook. It's going to be her first, the team's second of the quarter. And just like that, Western Wyoming is going to pass their free throw attempt total from the first half, as this is going to be 4 now as opposed to the 3 that they shot in the first half. Eddie's first free throw is up, and it is good. Second one is also good. Sierra Eddy up to 16 points now, and we talked about averaging 20 points a game over the last 7 games that she has played in. With her 2 3-pointers this year, she's made a 3-point shot in 29 out of the 31 games that she has played this season.
Faith Walker. Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Sorry, she can really score it. As this is Montiel fires a 3 ball, and it's no good. Galafont with the defensive or offensive rebound.
Oh, great one more.
Cook, the 3 ball is long. The rebound is going to be knocked out of bounds by Font with great effort there, and it's going to belong to Western Wyoming with an opportunity to open up this 3-point lead.
Yeah, a couple really good looks there. Walker just draws so much attention and makes it a little bit easier to drive and kick to the outside there. I thought they did a good job on the offensive rebound and the one more, but it came up empty.
Again, we talked about the importance of the offensive rebounding for Western Nebraska there, and they had a chance. They got a good look out of it, just didn't capitalize. We'll see if they can start capitalizing here as the second half wears on. Bjornstead looks to drive it hard to her right, driving against Faith Walker. Faith Walker does a nice job there with 2 fouls of walling up as she walls up again there, but this time they're going to call the foul, and Walker is going to pick up her 3rd foul.
Hey, Montiel is down. I hope she's okay. I didn't see what happened on the backside.
It's going to be Strauss heading to the free throw line as we are going to have a timeout here. As Montiel gets looked at by the trainers from Casper College, she looks like she is maybe a knee or an ankle as she is holding that. We're going to go to a quick break as we get a look at her, and we will be back here on the Casper College Network just after this.
Hey, Casper College, we can't miss.
Hold on, man. I can do better.
All right, show me.
We're back, fans, from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium as Laura Montiel was helped into the trainer's room. Again, it kind of looked like a knee. She was not putting any pressure on that knee. We certainly hope that she is going to be okay. As Katie Strauss heads to the free throw line for Western Wyoming, shooting 2. First free throw from Strauss is up and good. She now has 7 points on the game, and the lead has been opened up to 4 points in Western Wyoming's favor. Second free throw from Strauss is also good. She's got 4 points in the second half, all from the free throw line, and Western Wyoming now with a 5-point lead.
Got Mustangs back in 1-3-1. Again, I like the switching of the defenses. Good job down low there by your train.
And you got to be impressed by Tam Bloom playing at the top of this thing. She has not been out of the game yet, and she has just been on top, being active hands. Deflected a lot of balls early on as this is Cook fires the 3 ball. Couple of bounces off the rim, and it's no good. And a battle for the rebound is going to be out of bounds off of Western Nebraska. You got to like the hustle there from Ertain as she has just checked into the game, battling for that rebound. Just ran out of real estate.
Yeah, Western Nebraska needs to get something going defensively here. I think that's now 3 or 4 trips where they've come up empty on the offensive end. See if they can get a stop here without getting a foul.
Eddy with the quick drive, and it is good. And Sierra Eddy now up to 18 points on the game and has opened the lead up to 7. And again, Western Nebraska you kind of feel like a little bit of a danger zone here as they've got to get a basket here. Donaldson's going to fire the 3 ball, and it is good just like that.
Great driving kick to the corner. Yeah, great play by the Cougars there.
In the Steph Curry era of basketball that we play in right now, that 3 ball just changes everything, and it cuts the lead down to 4 in Western Wyoming's favor.
What an interesting game, just momentum-wise today.
Strauss with the miss. Ertain with the rebound, and Western Nebraska now with a chance to cut into this 4-point lead.
There's too many Westerns, Coach. We're going to need to change some names, I think, in the quarter.
Layup by Font is no good, rebounded by Tamron Bloom. And I agree, the fact that we have not really messed up Western Nebraska and Wyoming too much in this game, I think gives us a lot of credit. It's a great pass by Bloom on the back cut.
Yeah, great cut, great vision by Tam. And getting back to the line, Coach.
Foul's going to be on Igrike. It's going to be her 3rd. The team's 4th in the half. Western Wyoming going to be into double bonus here for the last 5 minutes here of this 3rd quarter. And Sierra Eddy back to the free throw line where she is 4 for 5 on the day.
We have not seen Laura Montiel come back yet. I'm really hoping that everything's okay with that knee or ankle or whatever that was. I mean, she just gave such great energy in transition, but more importantly, just her speed and quickness on the defensive end.
Well, she played such a key piece in that first half comeback. They started out very poorly, as Eddie's free throw is good and she's up to 19 points in the game. They started out so poorly, but it was her effort. It was Montiel's offensive rebounds. It was her play on the defensive end that really helped bring Western Nebraska back into this game and has put them in a spot where they're still only 5 points down, but we're up 1 at halftime.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, great drive here.
Donaldson stuck looking around. She comes back out to Joseph. Joseph looks to drive it. This is Cook. Joseph's going to fire a 3 ball, and it's going to miss short and out of bounds, and it's going to be Western Wyoming basketball. I don't think Coach Lou was terribly pleased with that shot from Joseph. I know Joseph, a very capable 3-point shooter. She's shooting it at just under 30% from the 3 on the season, but that one was probably not the one that Coach Lou wanted, especially down by 5 with just under 5 minutes left to go. Here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, Game 1 of the Region 9 Women's Basketball Tournament on the Casper College Network.
We have a really competitive group this year, sometimes a little too competitive. And there's this guy on our team, Ethan. He takes it a little too far, but he never loses.
Ready, go! I do this. I ain't never lost. I do this.
It don't even matter what that is. I got game right here.
Yellow game.
In this game.
Tell him he missed too. In that game.
I do this. I ain't never lost.
I cheer louder than you. I never lost.
I never lost.
I ain't never lost. I do.
Welcome back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, Game 1 of the Region 9 tournament here from Casper, Wyoming. The first of 4 games today in the quarterfinal round sees Western Wyoming with a 39-34 lead over Western Nebraska. Just under 5 minutes to go here. As Western Nebraska showing a little bit of token man-to-man pressure.
Yeah, we got no dog in the fight, and I can tell you, I can predict who is going to win this thing right now, Coach. Just seems like it's back and forth right now.
Strauss, a wide open 3 ball after they break the press, and it is good. A great one more pass by Bjornstead there, finds their best 3-point shooter, Strauss, standing at the top of the key, wide open, and she's not missing that one very often.
No, that was a great look. You're right, Coach. Just a little extra ball movement, got a great shot, and now you can see the energy pick up on the defensive end again.
Well, what a great play by Bjornstead there, a kid that knows her limitations and knows where the best 3-point shooter on the team is standing when she's wide open. You're going to throw her the ball as opposed to shooting a 12-footer. A turnover by Western Nebraska on the left side brings it back to Western Wyoming with now an 8-point lead. Sierra Eddy drives it to her right hand. She pulls it back out. Bloom, a little fadeaway jumper from the free throw line, and it is good. And just like that, Western Wyoming with a 10-point lead has opened up their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if that's design or not, but I like their little dribble drive. They get that wave action, right? Everybody on one side, and then it just seems like when they come across the green that they're able to find either Tam at the top of the key or they're able to get a rip and get to the rim.
They do a great job of being in positions where they know each other is going to be, right? They run that back screen action or the back cut action for Eddie a lot, but also they just know where each other is going to be, and they find themselves in good spots and find good shooters when they need to. Foul's going to be on Katie Strauss. It's going to be her second, the team's third of the third quarter. We get a couple of substitutions. Gal Lafont back in. Faith Walker checks back in. Agbrike checks back in as well for Western Nebraska. On the other side, we see Andy Van Dyke check in for I believe the first time today for the Western Wyoming Mustangs. And this one now could be a little bit of cause for concern as Katie Strauss just picked up her third foul. It's the team's fourth foul of the third quarter, but she's going to check out. Sierra Eddy's checking back in. And Coach Padilla here with a very nice thing in the fact that he can take out a Katie Strauss, but he can replace her with a Sierra Eddy just like that.
Coach, I think next dead ball we're going to talk about. We're going to need to talk about this particular inbound play. I mean, they run a couple really simple sets that get either Faith the ball just down low on the block or coming across a cross screen. They got great looks. Yep,
and Walker got a couple of chances there off of an offensive rebound, misses, and it'll be Western Wyoming ball. This is Bjornstead who drives it and misses it, and now Western Nebraska with an opportunity to come back as Gal Lafont has an open layup. Tries to go with the right hand and misses it on the left side. An offensive rebound by Agbrike, and she is fouled on the way back up. Looks like Ekstrom's going to pick that one up. It's going to be her second foul and the team's fifth, as both teams now are going to be in double bonus for the rest of the third quarter.
Yeah, good things happen when you go aggressively to the rim, but even better things happen when you get other kids that are running the floor with you, right? You miss that layup, you get a chance for an offensive rebound, maybe a putback, and then score some points on the free throw line.
First free throw by Agbrike is good. She now has 5 points on the game. As Ashley Christensen is checked in for the Mustangs, the 5'10 freshman from Ogden, Utah, who started 10 games earlier this season, a very capable player for the Mustangs. A little bit of token pressure there from the Cougars as they now back out of it. Western Wyoming with an 8-point lead, just under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Ekstrom looks to drive it to her left and then kind of ran out of real estate there. Looked for Bloom to bail her out, but she was not there as Gal Lafont with the steal.
Well, Kylie Schmidt's doing a great job. She got a great play the last trip down. She got another good one there. I really thought it started on the defensive end with Helena Cook there. Did a really good job of just bodying up in the paint that last play. And it seems like Western Nebraska is trying to get a little energy going again, Coach.
Well, and Schmidt's a player that hasn't played a ton so far this season and really hasn't played much in this game, but she has come in, played some good minutes defensively, as it looks like Western Nebraska might have another turnover here as Lafont got a hand on that one.
I think just with Montiel out, coming in and kind of not just playing that position, but playing that role of energy giver, seems like she's really trying to get that done for the Cougars right now.
Montiel now is back on the bench, but she's got a jacket on. Doesn't look like she's going to return to action for this one, which is unfortunate for the Cougars. As this is Christensen fires a three ball. It's no good. Gal Lafont with a defensive rebound. There's a scramble for it, and Western Nebraska's got it, and Smith is going to handle it again here. And again, she's played pretty good minutes here in the few that she has gotten here, especially in the second half. Just under 2 minutes to go here. Western Nebraska with the basketball. Shot clock down to 10. Cook looking inside at Faith Walker. She is doubled pretty tightly there as she throws it in, and Walker catches. Walker with a move. We've got a foul, and she almost had an opportunity for an and one. Instead, she's going to head to the free throw line for 2 shots.
I am really enjoying just watching Faith Walker when the ball is not in her hand. She just does such a good job off the ball, just trying to coordinate everybody and get the ball where it needs to go. She did a great job down low there.
Well, what a crazy possession there. Cook was doubled in the corner. Walker was doubled in the post, and Cook almost just kind of let it go. And Faith Walker on the other side of it grabs it, and she's fouled. Foul's going to go on Christensen. It's going to be her first. And again, the team's fifth of the third quarter as Western Nebraska into double bonus here the rest of the way.
Yeah, it seemed like the Mustangs just didn't do a very good job communicating back on defense in transition that time. Kind of a little bit lost on who had what.
Walker misses both free throws, but Agbrike there to grab an offensive rebound for Western Nebraska, and they retain possession as the shot clock resets to 20. Joseph checks back in as well as Ertain for the Cougars. Western Wyoming done a really nice job here. They've only let the lead slip by 2 points since Katie Strauss went out with her third foul. 3 ball by Cook is up, and it is good. Helena Cook with her second 3-point shot of the game. Coming back off of a concussion that caused her to miss 3 games earlier in the season, and she has played well the last couple of times out. And just like that, again, the lead cut back down to 3. Opposite pass there for Christensen. Christensen layup's no good, but an offensive rebound by Christensen and a putback opens the lead back up to 5 as we reach 1 minute left to go in the third quarter.
Somebody's been spending time on a little reverse mic and drill, I think, Coach.
Andy Van Dyke now at the top of this 1-3-1 as Tam Bloom slides down to a wing. Maybe try to give her a little bit of a break, but she's still playing hard as Cook fires another 3 ball. This one misses off the back heel. An offensive rebound by Agrike, and a putback by Agrike is no good. Offensive rebound, and we're going to get a traveling violation on Ertain.
Oh, so unfortunate for the Cougars. A good possession, a couple good shots, an offensive rebound there, and then just a turnover there at the end.
I'll tell you what, we talk about this offensive rebound, and Agrike at 5'8" seems like she is around the basketball all the time. When a shot goes up, she is undersized, but she is crashing the boards hard and has gotten a couple of big key extra possessions for her team.
She is flying around, and you can just tell her effort defensively is there. She's trying to get some offensive boards. Yeah, great player. Fun to watch.
She's got 3 fouls, but it doesn't seem like it because she's been playing so hard as Bloom fires a deep 3. This one's short. She kind of looked like she faded away there unnecessarily. And it's going to be Western Nebraska's ball with 11 seconds left and a chance to cut into this 5-point lead as Amaya Donaldson checks back in for the Cougars.
Yeah, I thought Smitch gave really good minutes there, Coach. I haven't seen her play much, and she did great.
She did play very hard. You got to wonder, Donaldson, a kid that comes in having made a 3 in 24 out of her 31 games this year, you kind of wonder if maybe they can't try to find a look for her. But she ends up turning it over, and Bloom with the steal. She's going to go coast to coast, and she misses a layup. And we are going to go to the end of the third quarter. 46-41 to the Mustangs of Western Wyoming so far. I guarantee you we're going to have 10 exciting minutes of basketball here in the Region 9 tournament, game 1 of the day of this quarterfinals here from Casper, Wyoming.
At Casper College, we're a hustle culture. We hustle for everything. Everything!
Hustle! 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 That's better.
こっち見て。
Back here, fans from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, the home of the Casper College Thunderbirds, for the fourth quarter of today's first quarterfinal game between Western Wyoming and Western Nebraska. Western Wyoming with a 46-41 lead as we come out for the start of the fourth quarter. Fans, again, just to give you an idea of what's left on the docket today, at 2:30 we have the 4 seed from the North Gillette taking on the number 1 seed from the South, the Northeastern Plainsmen. The number 2 seed from the, the 3 seed from the East, from the North. Eastern Wyoming, it's the Western versus Western game that's messing with me. Eastern Wyoming will take on Otero at 5 o'clock, and then again the nightcap at 7 o'clock. McCook takes on Casper College as Bloom drives it hard to the left hand, and it's good. And you can tell that was a set drawn up by Coach Padilla right there to get them a basket.
Yeah, great dribble drive, little wave, little weave to get an easy bucket there. That was good.
Bloom now in double figures with 10 for the Mustangs as they have opened the lead up to 7. Donaldson looks to drive it, kicks it to the backside. This is Cook. Cook, a very capable shooter, just didn't get a great pass there. Cook's going to fire a little elbow floater that is good. Cook does a nice job. She's got 8 points in the game. Coach Lou's going to take a timeout. We're going to wait and see how long it is. It's going to go to immediate timeout, so we're going to take a quick break here. 9:19 left in the fourth quarter. Western Wyoming with a 48-43 lead on the Casper College Network.
I think Casper College is a great place to start out your college journey. It's, again, there's small class sizes. There's really nice buildings and facilities. There's lots of variety of classes to choose from. To start off, there's all kinds of things you can try. If you're not sure what you want to do, like I was when I started, there's lots of things you can try, from lots of different foreign languages like Japanese or Russian, or the typical things like business and English, and there's lots of really good health science stuff here. So it's a great place to get started, and so I think people should give it a chance rather than going off to college somewhere else. This is a great place locally to kind of dip your toe in the water, so to speak.
Welcome back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, the home of the Casper College Thunderbirds, for Game 1 of the quarterfinals of the Region 9 Women's Basketball Tournament. And Josh, Coach Lou calls that quick timeout just 40 seconds into the fourth quarter. Do you think he's going to try to design something here defensively for Western Wyoming?
Well, you know, I kind of thought, like, coming out of that timeout that we'd see a little bit of ball pressure, some kind of full quarter, three-quarter court thing here. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what we're going to see here.
Just a little bit of man-to-man, it looks like, again here, and Western Wyoming really hasn't had any problems with it from their guard play position. Katie Strauss back on the floor for Western Wyoming with her 3 fouls, as Western Wyoming with a 5-point lead here. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Bloom, just such a matchup nightmare. She's going out on the perimeter now. Strauss looks to drive it.
I thought Ertain did a pretty good job there, just controlling that, though.
Ekstrom
good take by Ekstrom.
Left, flips it up, no good. Offensive rebound by Eddie, but the shot hit the side of the backboard. It did not hit the rim, and we've got a shot clock violation that's going to belong to Western Nebraska.
Well, curious to see what Western Nebraska comes out here. You know, they got the 2 posts in here. Are they going to try to get something down inside?
Western Nebraska still in this 1-3-1 defensively. Joseph catches it at the top, swings it back to Egbrike. Egbrike looks to drive it to the middle, and Joseph, again, a very capable three-point shooter, misses this one just to the left. But again, Egbrike right there for another offensive rebound. She's got 7 points on the game and has cut the lead down to 3.
Yeah, Coach, her plus-minus just on activity is awesome right now. She's worked so hard down there.
And again, an undersized guard, but just around the ball. You can tell why this team is so good rebounding the basketball, because their guards do such a good job of rebounding it.
That's exactly right, Coach. You give effort. You get effort from your guards and forwards. It just makes it a tough matchup for any team to get every defensive rebound.
Bloom looked for that step through there, was unable to get it. Tip goes to Cook, and Cook now with a defensive rebound. And Western Nebraska again with another chance to tie the game, as this game has just kind of gone back and forth. Egbrike with it on the wing. She's looking to attack downhill. A little bit of a Euro attempt, but I think she got slowed up just enough to turn it into a travel. Coach Lou was not a fan of that call as he tries to plead his case to Taylor Winkler, but Taylor Winkler was not having it. Both he and Rory Robinson agree that it was a traveling violation, and the ball's going to belong to Western Wyoming.
I'm surprised the Cougars have like this little full court man here. It looks just like to control the pace more than trying to get a touch or a turnover. Try to get him into a late shot clock situation, a bad shot.
Strauss fouled on that jump shot. Foul is going to go on Font. It's going to be her first, the team's first of the fourth quarter. And again, it's going to send Katie Strauss to the free throw line, where she has made a living so far today. And really on the season, she comes in shooting 83.2% on the season. Faith Walker checks back in for the Cougars, probably to continue to finish this game, I would assume, for the last 8 minutes here. First free throw by Strauss again is good.
Yeah, they got a real big lineup right now. I think this is the first time they've had Font, Walker, and Ertain on the floor at the same time.
Second free throw by Strauss is good. Strauss now with 12 points on the game as Sampson checks back in for Bjornstead.
Looks like they're going to get back into their 1-3-1. Tamara Bloom's just been so active with the hands up here.
Well, you kind of wonder about ways, Walker as a post player hasn't really been able to get many looks against this zone, but really for Western Nebraska, not a ton of three-point shooting on the floor for them. As Font drives in, misses the layup, and we've got a foul that looks like it's going to go on Font as well. It's going to be her. Nope, my apologies. Foul's going to go on Faith Walker, which is going to be her fourth, and that could be a big one with 7 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Sampson's matchup on that is Walker. You know, she's dropping down on that low block there. But I tell you, the kid that's really, really making that 1-3-1 work is Ekstrom. Running the baseline there. She does such a good job.
Do you want to see Western Nebraska try to post Walker more against this zone? Try to get her the ball inside?
I'm surprised they haven't tried to get her on that high post. Trying to find the ball in the middle instead of trying to rotate and get it down on the low block, you know?
Western Nebraska definitely has had a tough time against this 1-3-1 zone. And to Western Wyoming's credit, they've done a great job with it. I mean, like you talk about Ekstrom playing on the backside, Bloom at the top with those long arms. She's really caused a lot of problems. And then you've got athletes on either side in Strauss and Eddy that are causing problems on the wing. And imagine how much better this team is going to be next year when they add Emma Paddock back, who was their starting point guard last year, out this season with a shin surgery as Cook fires a three. It's no good. And yet again, Ibrike there for an offensive rebound.
Yeah, Emma Paddock, another Casper kid, just so dynamic. That'll be great for her to get back next year. Hope that she recovers well and is back and active next year.
Ball's going to go on Sierra Eddy. It's going to be her third. The team's first of the fourth quarter. And again, Faith Walker on the backside. She's going to get this basket, and she's going to get a foul.
He's amazing, Coach.
So Faith Walker now with 5 points in the game. Foul's going to go against Sampson. You got to kind of wonder if Sampson there on the backside, if she just with her volleyball background and not being a part of the team the whole season, maybe there's a communication piece, but and it's possible too that Coach Lou maybe is seeing something that in film where that has been open for them, and it's worked successfully several times now for them.
Well, I think there's multiple pieces. I mean, Faith Walker is just such a great athlete, right? I mean, she just knows how to find the ball, get her hands on it, and then do great things when she gets it. But yeah, I think there's a little miscommunication there on the inbound play. Makes me second guess the complexity that we try to have on some of ours.
Layup there by Vermeulen is no good, and then a scramble for the rebound is going to be a jump ball.
I think that is now 3 trips in a row for the Mustangs with a turnover, I think. Is that right there, Coach?
Sounds about right. And, Coach, tell me if I've said this yet, but it's Western Nebraska now with the ball with an opportunity to tie things up.
At least 8 times, I think we've said that.
Cook catches it on the wing. Ibrike with a great flash out of the middle, but they didn't see her. This is LaFont that drives it, and a 3-ball by Cook. Looks like it's off to the left, and another rebound by Tam Bloom.
And Cook seemed like she was a little quiet there in the first half, but once she hit that 3 down here on this end, she's kind of trying to get after it offensively a little bit.
Well, a very capable three-point shooter. I mean, she's shooting it at 36% on the season. I know that Coach Lou looks comfortable with her taking those threes, and she's had some good looks that just haven't gone down for her in the fourth quarter. Ekstrom going to use the ball screen from Vermeulen, and it's going to be a bad one. Vermeulen just got a little bit too wide there, and she clipped Cook. Cook looks like maybe just a stinger. Hopefully it's nothing too serious here. She's down. Her teammates are going to help her back up.
It's been pretty interesting here the last couple minutes, just having Faith Walker be that kind of rim protector, on top of the smiley face there, how that's changed how Western Wyoming has tried to attack.
Bjornstead checks back in. She's going to replace Vermeulen. Cook's going to look like she's going to need a quick sub. She looks like maybe just caught a stinger there in her thigh. And she is replaced by Smitch. Again, Smitch played really good minutes in the third quarter. Excited to see what maybe she can bring to the table here for Western Nebraska. Skip across to Ibrike. Ibrike with a great cut there, and the pass just a little bit too far out of reach for her, but it looks like it's going to stay with the Cougars.
Oh, it looks like Cook's back in. That's great to see, Coach.
Cook's back in here. We're going to go to immediate timeout, our last one of the game with 4:59 left to go in the fourth quarter. Western Wyoming with a 3-point lead over Western Nebraska on the Casper College Network.
I chose Casper College because it's my hometown, and it always been like a goal of mine to come here first and then maybe go on, but I actually liked it here a lot better, so I decided to stay here. I like the community here, like how they do these things like the barbecues and everything. I think that's really cool how they try to get the students and everyone together. it's affordable for a lot of students, even out-of-state students, and also like it's like I said earlier, the community, like it's really good, and they try to help you in any way that they can here. And I know like bigger universities don't care as much, and I think Casper College is perfect. I don't know, feels like home.
And we are back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium on the beautiful campus of Casper College. There's snow on the ground outside. We got about 1.5 inches here last night. But again, things heating up here as we are coming down the stretch in Game 1 of the Region 9 tournament play between Western Wyoming and Western Nebraska. Western Nebraska taking the ball out of bounds against this 2-3 zone, and they're looking for Faith Walker on the dive, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking to see them get the ball in there.
That time they do not get an opportunity. Western Wyoming going to stay in that 2-3 zone as Gal Lafont with a great take. That doesn't go in. A battle for the rebound belongs to Sierra Eddy for the Mustangs, and Western Wyoming looking to increase this 3-point lead.
Yeah, great hustle by the Mustangs to get that defensive rebound, push the ball up the floor. We'll see if they can get something going here. Man, Faith Walker's done such a good job there in the middle, even with her being in foul trouble right now, Coach. You can just tell that she just totally changes the dynamic of that dribble drive offense.
Well, it certainly takes away the dribble drive part of it, right? The layup part as Tam Bloom gets a little bit of a runner to go.
You know, Tam got that look earlier today and kind of tried to shoot that one a little off balance. That was such a better look with her getting that little step through and then getting that little floater inside.
6 points for Bloom now in the game. I'm sorry, 12 points on the game. 6 in the first half, 6 in the second half. As this 3-ball is up and no good. Faith Walker on the backside with the rebound putback is good. She's now got 7 points and cuts the lead back down to 3. There was no doubt coming into this thing that it was going to be a barn burner. You knew that both of these teams were very well coached, very well organized. There's the back cut action that Western Wyoming has run this entire game. This time they get an opportunity to do it, and it picks up a big foul on Faith Walker because it's going to be her 5th, and she is disqualified for the 6th time this season. Mackenzie Joseph checks back in. Walker checks out. She ends the game with 7 points, and really, you know, a great job on the defensive end. Really changed things when she was in the game. And you hope that Mackenzie Joseph can fill those shoes now. Sierra Eddy catches it on the wing. 3.5 minutes to go here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Bloom looking to get downhill now. She gets a switch. This is Cook on her. Jump shot is no good. A great block out there by Joseph. And Ertain grabs the rebound for Western Nebraska. And another chance here for Western Nebraska to tie things up.
Fawn open again in the corner. I thought they'd kind of peel back to her.
Font really hasn't looked to get a shot from the 3-point line. She shoots it at 35%, just doesn't shoot it a ton this year. She has made a 3 in 21 games this season as Joseph fires a 3, and it's no good. Rebound by Font is kicked back out. Joseph's going to fire it again. This one off the back iron and rims out no good, and Sierra Eddy this time clears for Western Wyoming. Joseph fires 2 threes there for that possession. She looked kind of over at Coach Lou at the end of that second shot, and Coach Lou didn't seem like he was too upset. He felt like that was a good shot and a capable shooter that was open that just didn't fall for the Cougars. We now have a timeout on the floor for Western Wyoming. This is going to be a full timeout, so we're going to go to a quick break. We will be back with 3 minutes left to go here from Sweet Erickson Gymnasium. Game 1 of the quarterfinals of the NJCAA Region 9 Championship.
One thing I would like Casper College or future Casper College students to know is you get in what you put out. If you come here and you just want to stay under the radar, you definitely can do that. But if you want to gain experience and learn not only inside the classroom but outside, if you talk to the instructors and just put in that little bit of extra effort, there's plenty of opportunities for you to learn, to grow, and to develop new skills that'll help you out in the real world.
Welcome back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, Game 1 of the NJCAA Region 9 tournament. Western Wyoming with a 52-49 lead over Western Nebraska here. Just under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's going to be Western Wyoming basketball here, Coach. What do you think Western Wyoming is going to come out in here to try to get a basket to open this lead back up.
Yeah, you know, the last couple after timeout possessions, they've gotten that little wave look out of dribble drive, and then they're either able to get that layup or kick to the corner. It looks like maybe they're going to get some kind of maybe ball screen here. Nope.
Almost looks like they're trying to get Sampson a touch in the post there. She now has to pop out.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Kind of looking for Bloom there.
Maybe a little inside out look is what the thought was there.
Ekstrom going in reverse with the right hand. Nice little take from Anya Ekstrom, and she gets her first basket of the second half. She's got 8 points now on the game and opens this lead up to 5. Agrike left wide open in the corner for 3, misses a little bit long, and Katie Strauss with the defensive rebound. You kind of wonder, we talked a little bit about in the pregame about how good of a three-point shooting team Western Wyoming is. Western Nebraska does not do it as well, and Western Wyoming almost looking to do defensively to kind of give them that look to see if they will go ahead and fire.
Ball screen here from Sampson.
Bloom looking to turn the corner. She pulls up for an elbow jumper that's no good, and it is Joseph with the defensive rebound.
Yeah, pretty good look. It just didn't fall. We're back to a 5-point game.
Under 2 minutes left to go here. You got to think that Western Nebraska here is getting into we need to score baskets situation here. Cook's going to fire a 3 off of a great screen. Great little flare action, and Helena Cook gets her third 3 of the game. She's got 11 points, and we are back to a 2-point game, minute and a half left. Coach Lou's going to take a timeout here, and we will be back for the conclusion of this thing. Actually, you know what? 30-second timeout. Let's stay with it. Coach, if you're
I'll tell you what I was thinking here is, you know, Cook was, we didn't hear much from her in the first half, and then like we talked about, she hit that same 3, you know, in the beginning of the second half, and it kind of really sparked her offensively, and a great look for her. I'm assuming we're going to see some pressure here, right? I mean, it's a 2-point game. Get up and try to get a steal. We know that's one of their things that they like to do. So we'll see how Western Wyoming counters that.
Well, a 2-point game with a minute and a half left to go. A lot of time in college basketball with the shot clock. So you can't imagine that's going to be too aggressive. In the words of Coach Schaefer, they're going to be keeping them up on their knitting, I believe is what he says when we talk about a little bit of a token full court press. Shout out to Coach Schaefer, who I know is listening back at school when he's not working. Western Wyoming with a 54-52 lead, minute and a half left to go here in the fourth quarter of the first quarterfinal game of the Region 9 tournament. Joseph's going to get called for that one for a little bit of a bump. It's going to be her first foul, but just the team's 4th.
Yeah, great job. I'm going to say great job on the scout by Coach Padilla. I can't know that Joseph's going to play behind there. You know, you're going to be able to get it into Sampson there, maybe draw the foul, if not be able to get it inside out.
From this point forward, now Western Wyoming on every foul will head to the free throw line to shoot 2 shots. And again, we know how capable they are from the free throw line. Western Nebraska going to have to find a way in this last minute to defend without fouling. Strauss comes off with a dribble handoff, and she gets a layup on a great pass from Eddie. Strauss now up to 14 points. Eddie with 19 points, Bloom with 12 points. Those 3, and even Ekstrom with 8. Those 4 have really been a key for the Western Wyoming Mustangs so far as we reach the 1-minute point in the fourth quarter. Smith going to fire a 3-ball. It misses off to the left, and the defensive rebound is going to be Bjornstead. And Ekstrom clears, and it looks like she's content with slowing things down, and she's going to probably take every second of this 30-second shot clock as we come down the stretch. 4-point game, Coach. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. You surprised that Western Nebraska's not fouling here?
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not up and trying to get a touch here, being a little bit more aggressive. Trying to get an extra possession.
Ekstrom's going to fire a 3-ball. Would have been a dagger, but it's no good. Joseph with the defensive rebound. We're under 30 seconds left here as Western Nebraska with the ball in a 4-point deficit. Cook's going to take, actually Coach Lou's going to take a timeout here. Looks like it's going to be a full timeout. Western Nebraska basketball when we come back. Just 20 seconds left. Western Wyoming with a 56-52 lead on the Casper College Network.
Here, Casper College, we can't miss.
Hold on, man. I can do better.
All right, show me.
Welcome back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, the home of the Casper College Thunderbirds, and also the home of the Region 9 tournament here. Game 1 of the quarterfinal between Western Nebraska and Western Wyoming. Western Wyoming with a 4-point lead here, just over 20 seconds left to play. It's going to be Western Nebraska basketball. Coach, Faith Walker already fouled out of this game. Where do you think Western Nebraska is going to go with the basketball here?
I mean, I think they're going to try to get the ball into Ertane here. I mean, it's a 4-point game. You don't need a 3 here. You can get a 2. You can get fouled. You can score on the line. And then they got a foul right away.
I love the set that they ran for Cook to get that 3 off the flare last possession. I wouldn't be surprised if they run something like that, maybe out of a horn set. And you got to remember, if you're Western Wyoming, Agrike is crashing around. There's the flare that we talked about. Agrike with the drive. She's going to go in with the layup. Is missed just short. Sierra Eddy with the defensive rebound. Agrike had a great look there, and it just didn't go in.
Yeah, good rebound there. Good heady play just to pull that out there. Take a little time off the clock there.
Cook's going to get charged with the foul. It's going to be her second, the team's 5th. Shooting 2 for the Mustangs is going to be Anya Ekstrom. Ekstrom to the free throw line for the first time today. She is 87.3% on the season. I mean, really, any of these Mustangs you don't want at the free throw line, but she is probably the top one at 87%. As the first one is good, and it was pure.
Just 2 completely different halves. You know, the first half never got to the line, and then in the second, I mean, they win the game really at the free throw line,
Sure.
I thought, in the second half.
Be curious to see what that number was, but I've got unofficially 3, 5, 7, 9 points from the free throw line from Western Wyoming in the second half after only getting to the line 3 times. And Western Wyoming is victorious, survive and advance here from the Region 9 tournament in Casper, Wyoming. Game 1 goes to the Western Wyoming Mustangs. They will be back here tomorrow at 5 o'clock to play the winner of our next game between the 4 seed in the North, Gillette, and the 1 seed in the South, NJC. Coach, give us any final thoughts on the win for Western.
Man, I just thought, what a fun way to start this tournament weekend, Coach. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better game. We had lots of ups and downs. We had a lot of scoring. We had kids playing hard. Man, and I would not like to have to play Western Nebraska if they keep rebounding at the clip that they are and getting defensive touches. Man, they're going to be a tough matchup for anybody.
Well, and a lot of capable scorers for that team. They got 4 guards that can really play on the outside. Bloom is a really tough matchup. They got kids that can shoot at the ultimate equalizer, that 3-point shot, and it'll be a great matchup tomorrow against either one of these teams that they're going to see.
Yeah, excited for a great weekend of basketball, Coach.
Fans, stick around for just a minute. We're going to take a quick break, probably 2 commercials worth of break here until we can get official stats. We're going to go through the stat sheet real quick. Hopefully we're going to get Coach Padilla from Western Wyoming up here. And if not, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will be back here in about 20 minutes with the Western, no more Westerns, NJC versus Gillette game that is scheduled to tip here at 2:30. Stick around. We will be right back.
It's such a good job.
Welcome back, fans. Sweet Erickson Gymnasium, the home of the Casper College Thunderbirds, and we just completed Game 1 of the Region 9 tournament. It went to the Western Wyoming Mustangs. We're joined now by the head coach of the Mustangs, Coach Padilla. Coach, congratulations on the win. Is Survive and Advance?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, we've been here, year 2. We have an idea what it takes. I don't know if we know what it takes. But we have a lot of kids that just want to win basketball games, and no, it was great. Winning the first one's the hardest.
Yeah, well, sure. And you look at the score sheet, you only have 5 players that score, but I tell you what, 4 of them are really good. You've got to feel pretty confident having those 3 guards, and if you can include Bloom on the perimeter, those 4 guards can really do a lot of things for you.
Yeah, we kind of recruit that way. We like the 3 ball, maybe a little too much, but I do probably play them a lot of minutes, which is but I mean, that's why they go JUCO, man. I'm trying to get them noticed, and our kids buy into that. And 2 of our starters from last year are on the bench. They're not playing. They're medical red shirts, and so I think if we had them, I plan to play about a rotation of 8. But right now, our kids they're buying into it, and our bench is great. They're big supporters, and they do fill a role when they're ready to fill that role. So.
Absolutely. Well, and Coach, you talk about a team that likes to shoot the 3, and to your point, almost too much. But you look at the second half, you guys only take 4 3-point shots, but you do what you're really, really good at is you got to the free throw line 12 times as opposed to just the 3 in the first half. Was that a message that you sent at halftime that we need to get to the lane? Yeah, and that's always our goal is to get 20-plus free throws a game, at least 20-plus attempts, and if we can do that, we were number 1 and 2 in the nation for free throw attempts, and we were in dribble drive, man, and it's no surprise that that's what we're going to do, and we just think that if we have the players to get downhill and down with pace, and we'll be fine, and they knock it down. So. Well, Coach, have you seen either of these teams so far this year, Gillette and NJC? Yeah, we beat Gillette twice. They're solid. They're starting to pick it up right now. They're playing the best basketball right now. And NJC they're one of the best teams we played all year. Sure. We played a lot of good teams, but I do want to get Gillette, or I want to get NJC for the 3rd time. Yeah, absolutely. They beat us pretty bad 2 times, but I think our kids they'll respond really well, man, and we'll be tough to beat. I mean, this year 1 through 3 on both sides, I think could potentially win it. Yeah. So it's where we want to be in Region 9. And the competition at this level is exactly what future coaches should be scouting. Sure. So, Coach, how long do you take to enjoy this win? Is it are you 20 minutes and then you're back at your job? Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I tell everyone let's get to day 2. And then tomorrow let's get to day 3. Absolutely. So, no, enjoy it now and enjoy the night. I'm a big fan of celebrating wins, no matter how big and how small they are, because winning's hard. So absolutely. Well, hey, Coach, congratulations so much, and hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow night in this same role, and we're talking about another victory for the Mustangs. Awesome, man. I appreciate you. Hey, thanks, Coach. Thank you. Fans, we're going to take another quick break, and we will come back and start the pregame for Gillette and NJC here from Casper College Sweet Erickson Gymnasium as we are getting ready for Game 2 of the Region 9 tournament from Casper College.
So one of the main reasons I chose Casper College is I'm from Casper, born and raised, and it's great that we have this community college here that it's ranked pretty high among community colleges. So